Welcome back. Today we'll learn about what are conditional statements in C++. Conditionals are also known as decision makers. Now what does this means as we have to understand? Now it's very simple if we see in one way that we have a condition and because of that condition some outcome will happen. For example, let's say I will go for a walk today evening. Now suppose this is a sentence. This is let's say an outcome which you want to do. Now there are various conditions that depends on this statement. Let's say in the evening, let's say if it is raining very heavy, will you be able to go for a walk? Probably you can, but then you have to change the condition that you have to take one umbrella. So condition, depending on the condition, your outcome has changed. Even though you're going for a walk, you have to take an umbrella. So depending on the condition, the outcome changes. Same goes with programming. Let's say if I'm giving a piece of data somewhere, if the person is not receiving the data, what will happen to the data? So in that condition, whatever outcome I have decided for that piece of data, that will happen to it. So every piece of instruction or every piece of command, certain conditions are there. And depending on that condition only, you will get one output. If a condition is that tomorrow you will be 10 years old. So if that is the thing, can this condition be changed? It may not, because tomorrow, if your birthday will definitely come. If it's a birthday tomorrow, so you will be 10 years old. There is no else part over here. It will be that, yes, tomorrow I have my birthday. Whether something happens or not, I will be 10 years old. For these kind of statements, condition won't play much of a role. Yeah, it can happen that you may not be able to celebrate your birthday. That can be one thing. But certain statements are there which does not affect what condition you have put. But for now, we will see the condition which will get affected. For example, if I say, let's say you study in a school and from your home till the school, it's a very long distance. So let's say, for example, if this is your home and let's say this is your school, you have, let's say 5 roads to it. Now, if I ask you which road you will take, with the help of common sense, a person will select the center one because it is the shortest road. But what if I say that there is construction going on over here, so you cannot go through the road? Then you will choose some other road. Now, because of the condition of this construction, you have changed your outcome. Same thing will happen with a program also. And for this, we have all these conditional statements. And today we're going to learn about if-else statements. Now, as the name suggests, it is something like if condition happens, then this outcome will happen, else this outcome will happen. Something like that. Let me give a clear idea about it. Let's say if I write here, if A is greater than B, then what I will do is I will do A plus B and I will put it into C. Else do C will be equal to A minus B. So here if I say A is 14, B is 12. Now if you see very carefully, the condition we have to check if A is greater than B. So A is 14, B is 12. So definitely 14 is greater than 12. So this condition is satisfying. So it will come here directly. That means C will become 14 plus 12. So it will become 26. And this else part has nothing to do with it right now because the condition has been satisfied. So we will not move to the else part because it will only check the condition. If this condition is false, then only we'll go to the else. Let's see one more. If I write if, we'll consider some different numbers now. A is 5, B is 16. If I write if A is greater than or equal to B, then you do is C is equal to A minus B. Else C is equal to A multiplied by B. Now if you see this condition, here I have written A is greater than or equal to B. Now I have to see A and B. Are they greater? No. Are they equal? No. So this condition is not satisfying. So this thing will not happen. So it will directly come to the else. It is written here A multiplied by B. So A multiplied by B is 5 multiplied by 16. And the answer of this, which is 80, will be stored in the C. Now if I have to show you this with the help of program, let's see how it works. So here I have made a very simple program of taking an input from the user, and I have put the condition that if the input is greater than 0, the number is positive. And I have also written a cout statement where the statement will always execute. Now if I run this code, let's see what happens. So it's saying me enter an integer. Let's type a number. Let's put 6. And if I press enter, you're going to see you have entered a positive integer 6. And at the bottom, it's written this statement will always execute. Now what happened here is, since I have given the number input here, I will write here in the comment as number 6. So now we know that 6 is definitely greater than 0. So this statement will be printed, and we are also printing the number. Now this statement, which is over here, it has nothing to do with the if block. It is just outside of it, because as you can see the code. So when I write a cout statement in a C++ program, it will always print. There is no condition or nothing else provided over here. So this statement will always execute. So that is how if works. If it's very simple, you just have to see the condition over here. If the condition is satisfying, then whatever is inside it, that will always run. Next, let's try the else part. Now for the else, what we will do is we can write like this. We can write else, give a quote like this, and we can write any statement over here. Let's write hi. So I'm just writing a random statement for now, just in case to see whether it's gonna print or not. So if I run the code now, let's say, since I know that the condition should not be satisfied in order for the else part to run, so I need a number which is less than 0. Because the condition should not be satisfied, then only we will get the desired output. So I'll put, let's say, -9. And if I press enter, it should be printing me hi -9, because now the condition is not satisfied. Number is not greater than 0. So it is printing me the else part. The next we can write is, what if we put one more condition, but this time we'll do with else if. Else if is something like this, that if this is not satisfying, else if do this. So that is how it works. So I'm going to write here in the next one, I will change the condition and the statement. This time, if you put a number less than 0, you have entered a negative integer and the number will be printed. And for the else, I will put here that you have entered 0. So that can be the only condition, because if the number is greater than 0 and if the condition is less than 0, in the middle there is only 0 that you have given as input. So if you give 0 as input, it should be printed that you have entered 0. So now if I run the code, let's see what happens. So let's put a number, let's say I put 0. And if I press enter, as you can see, you have entered 0. And this statement will always run because there is no condition with the statement. This is just a cout statement. So it has nothing to do with all these things. Just one cout statement printing always. Nothing to do with the conditions. This is how if else if work. Moreover, you have to remember one thing, that you can put as many else if as possible, because there is no limitation to that. You can do like this, that if this is not satisfying, else if this, then again else if the previous else if is not satisfying. So you can put as many conditions as possible. But one thing you have to keep in mind, that for one if, there'll be only one else. That you have to have in mind. Moreover, in the next session, when you will learn about nested if else, there you will learn how you can put if else and else if combined inside one more if. And there you can do multiple statements. It may look a bit complicated, but that will make the program much more easier. That you will learn in the next session. So if you have any doubts regarding this if else or else if, you can put down in the comment section. I will try to help you out as fast as possible.